I've spent most of today crying. And it's not even just because of whatever's going on with him. I think today is the first time I've really let myself feel the grief.
Why do you think that is?
Can't break down when other people needed to be strong. I couldn't break down when Kiki needed me to be strong for her.
But Kiki didn't need you to be strong for her. She just needed you to exist. And if you really, really need another motivator, do you really think Kiki wants to get the message that you've been shot and dead, too?
No.
Okay. You know, if you're don't like motivating people with negative things, but you don't want the people you're close to hurt. To include Mason, to include Balto, to include Raina, anybody else, then just gotta do it, V.
Raina said if it was already too late, he would have said something tonight.
It's only too late when you're up on that hill, bleeding out your head. Anything else isn't too late. And I know Mason don't want that. No matter what you may think.
I remembered a tarot card reading I had with Raina last week.
Hey! Make sure you call me later!
Because I always get a Celtic cross in a relationship reading. I was confused about the relationship reading. Because, just didn't fit anything. I thought, okay, maybe it's me and Kiki and finding a common ground. But I think it was me and myself. Like, I know people are like, oh, it's just cards. Like, it's woo-woo bullshit. But the first card, she said, meant, skeptical in nature, not very trusting, at a loss and confused, and that was supposed to be me. The third card is someone who's trying to heal from their own traumas, someone who's trying to move forward and move on, mired in controversy. And here's the kicker, someone trying to find their way home. And then the second card, which was like common ground, a means to an end. The vibe that it's to finish some sort of chapter. And I was talking to her. Kinda had the thought of what if that chapter is just finally learning to actually let people in. But like that's really fucking scary, Duke.
Why? Why is that so scary?
Because I know I don't make sense.
Okay, there's a million things this world don't make sense. Doesn't make it scary. Just makes it normal. In fact, it's probably one of the more normal things about you that you don't make sense.
Like, I don't know. I just I feel these big emotions all the time and I feel like I'm too much. That's why I don't like talking about it because I feel like I'm too much. And like logically, I don't get to decide what's too much for people to handle. I get that. I know that, but I don't know how to put it into practice.
I just don't think there is a too much when it comes to the people that love you, V. It's not even a quantifier. I think you gotta stop worrying about what you think the reactions are and just let the reactions happen, and you know, the dice lay where the dice lay. Because it's basically decision paralysis at this point. If I let people in, it hurts. If I don't let people in, it hurts. But at this point, only one of them's going to end in you getting physically hurt. I mean, take a minute and think. What made you start talking to me about any of this?
Lisa and I had a long talk about something. It was so long ago. It's definitely about me needing help.
Yeah, but you never, at least in my opinion, when talking to me, ever shown a reluctance to not answer something, not share something when it's been brought up. Yeah, we might butt heads on some things and disagree on a process or a final outcome, but there's always been conversation. There's always been a forthrightness with feelings and all that. You just gotta trust that that's the same for everybody. And if you do trust and put yourself out there and it gets a little messy with a couple people, then fuck it. Gotta break eggs to make cake.
No way, Eli. I worked every day this week. You gotta be joking,
I don't even
asshole.
know why I find it so hard to
Chill, Eli.
talk to people.
Because you feel you're undeserving, V.
It's like you said, I can talk to you, and I can talk to Raina, and I can talk to Balto. What makes you guys so different?
I don't know. That's what I was trying to pick apart. You tell me. I can't answer that for you.
Raina and Balto, I think, are easy. Because they're still here. They watch me fall into the depths and watch me crawl back out again.
Okay.
When Harvey died, Etta and Tanner stayed outside my house for days on end to make sure that I took my medication because I wasn't taking care of myself. I still had trouble opening up to both of them because I felt, in Etta's case especially, that she went through so much that she didn't need my bullshit on top of it.
You ever think that maybe understanding that other people go through something hard is what helps some people cope with the hard things they've had happen to them?
Lane and I had a conversation about that a long time ago.
So did it just not stick, or
I think about it from time to time. Then I think to myself, well, I'll just talk to someone later because, like, we're doing something right now. Or they're having a good day. I don't want to bring them down by bringing up something heavy.
okay, but do you think that that shadow that you know, cast when you're down and out or trying to be alone isn't noticed and doesn't, make people stop, take pause, and lose a bit of that humor of the day?
Yeah, something else Rana said. People can say no, they're adults. They can tell you if it's too much, if they're not in a headspace for it. I don't know. I think part of my problem is I don't like asking for people's time.
Then don't ask, just take.
That feels selfish, dude.
And it's selfish to not take it because it makes you feel bad. So if you're going to be selfish one way or another, do the healthy thing and just take it. Because you're not giving them the option anymore. So it's selfish. Both ways. You're going to take somebody's agency, take it so that you feel better. Because I can guarantee you, at the end of the day, if you take that time, and even if for whatever reason it does put a dark, stormy rain cloud over them, if they know that it's helped you, they're gonna come to terms with it and be okay with it. Maybe not that day, the next, or one to follow, because they see that they've helped you. And if they don't, then fuck them because you still got what you needed and you helped yourself for once.
That feels icky.
A lot of life is icky. Just gotta make do with it, V. I just had to tell Remedy that she's gotta pick a new doctor because I can't treat her no more. That feels icky. She said she'd rather die.
Well, that's defeatist.
Okay. Glad you can identify that here. If these people signed up to step in front of a bullet for you, V, think listening to you talk for 15, 30, an hour, whatever, is a much easier ask.
Yeah, but then it's like we could be doing better things than standing around yapping about my problem of the day.
What's better than
Could be
than
being
that?
productive, Duke.
Okay, how many people are actually productive day to day? Like, be honest.
I mean, I haven't been. I've been
If
slacking.
no, you wrong, you've been in here. This is something. This is space for you and Mason, so that you have your time away, time together, make you both happy. Something you've both been dying to have. That's productive. Stop putting down things that are for you as not productive or not worthwhile.
Yeah,
That's
that's
the root of
another
the
one of his
problem.
pet peeves is me doing that.
Yeah, it should be.
I don't know how to stop that one, Duke.
You just gotta listen to other people. Realize that your brain is toxic towards yourself and you trust the words they say. Tell your brain to go fuck off. That's how you deal with that.
Yeah, when I was crashing out to Arena, I was quite literally saying, no, we're not going to entertain that thought, Veronica. That's just, we're not going to entertain that thought. And then I said it out loud anyway, and
And was it entertained or was it told you're dumb?
Arena told me I was being dumb.
Okay, well, then it wasn't entertained. And you still said it and you got help and everything turned out fine. So, sounds like you should keep doing that.
What is it they say about breaking habits? It takes, what, 90 days to break a habit?
I think to change a habit,
What
I think
was
you can
break?
I think you can break one much quicker.
Well, either way. I don't, I don't mean to make people worry, is the other problem, and I know that they do. And Mason's the one that always says, like, something, something, intention, something, something. I can't remember the exact quote because it's so late and I'm so tired. It doesn't really matter what your intention is, someone perceives it a different way.
This is true.
Like, my intent in going off on my own today was because I didn't want to be this dark cloud looming over Chumash, and I didn't want to lash out at someone because I was angry at myself. And then I still lashed out in text. And I still feel really bad about what I said. Even if I didn't say it to Mason, I still said it. Like, that's exactly why I go off on my own when I'm upset. Because I don't want to lash out and hurt people, Duke.
Why are you so certain that you're going to hurt people?
Because I know me. I know when I get angry, all it takes is one person to say the wrong thing and I am going to snap.
Party last night.
And I'm going to say things that I can't
Me and
take
Matt
back.
had a blast. I don't know. I blacked out.
Like telling Mason to go fuck himself. Like, I could not imagine saying that to his face. But I can't say with certainty that had he been standing in front of me that I wouldn't have snapped and said it. Out of anger. Out of misplaced anger. Because I was upset about failing the boost, but I was also upset about a million other things that I just didn't want to talk about.
So maybe people need to get hurt a little bit then. And I also think you're really misjudging how like not hurt people get about you speaking your mind. Have you heard Lane and Wade and Wally talk to each other?
Yeah, but that's different.
Nope, sure not. Still really close friends, getting in each other's asses. And guess what? They're just fine.
Don't know if you know this about me, Duke, but I'm kind of conflict averse.
Same old disgusting
Okay,
assholes and
well,
this chick staring at my ass all day.
stop it.
In my gym, people get warnings for eye fucking others. Get fiesta.
Second time I'm getting a call from this number. Give me just a second. Hello. What can I do for you? I do not, and I don't believe anybody's around, sadly. No problem. Have a good one. Okay. V, these people are not fragile. These people would step in front of a bullet for you. And they care. It's a recipe that means you can throw whatever you've got at them. They're going to take it. They're probably going to smile. They're going to ask you if that felt better. And then they're going to keep talking to you. And in the off chance that it causes an argument, causes hurt feelings, by the time the sun rises on the next day, it's going to be forgotten, it's going to be forgiven, and life's going to go on. Because guess what? There's probably something far more pressing to worry about than a little tiff over a talk or a spat about how you got in your feels and snapped at somebody.
I just don't like it.
No, people don't like what you're doing. So, you know,
I've always just gone off, dealt with what I'm feeling, and came back and put a smile on my face.
okay,
So
well,
what I do,
is that working anymore?
clearly not. I used to be able to just go sulk at the firehouse, sit my ass in a corner until a call came in and I had to go off and tend to whatever idiot fell off Mount Gilead or walked into a fire or got shot by the cops. I used to be able just to go sulk in my corner, take care of them, come back, go back to sulking in my corner, deal with bottling up what I'm feeling because it doesn't matter, and get back to it because I have more important things to deal with than stupid emotions. I can deal with them later.
Well, now you can. Now it is a reckoning. And you have, like you said, very, very clear paths on where things lead. And if you're okay with that,
I'm
then
not okay with that.
okay, well, then, you know,
My
put
life.
on your,
Oh my god. Who's calling you now?
it's Bobby. I don't know, actually.
Life was so much easier when I could just shove everything in the bottle. And
Was it?
nobody gave a shit that I was shoving it in the bottle.
I don't think that's easier, V.
Really?
I think
Because it sure feels like it was.
it's just lonely.
I wasn't lonely. I had people around me. I had Logan and Happy, and Shirley, and Kiki, Basil. God, I
Okay.
miss that guy.
Let me ask you a question, V. What good are people who take all of that and just throw it in a bottle and no one ever, ever, ever gets a taste of it? What's good? What good are friendships and family in that case? It's all just a front. It's not the real you, so they don't get that. It's some produced, manicured, Stepford wife version of you.
What if I don't like the real me too? What then?
I don't I don't have an answer for that, V. You either learn to like it or again, very clear paths.
Work with my hands. I beat you with them. Simple as that.
Pretty sure you don't like the alternative.
No, I don't.
No, I never wanted to do anything else. Maybe like once.
She's a mess that can't keep her head on her shoulders on a good day.
That's fine. You think Lane keeps her head on her shoulders on a good day?
That's different.
Nope, not different at all.
She also is recovering from a head injury.
Okay. The head injury is it's a bonus to the actions, not the totality of them. Her and I got together the first night because she was shooting cars on Great Ocean Highway trying to talk to a cop. You think that's okay actions there, V?
I'd say it's kind of concerning.
Just a little bit. Do I care about her any less because of them? No. And if she flies off the handle tomorrow, I'll be right there next to her. Because I care. Mason will do the same for you. Everybody else in the club will as well. It's just part of the deal. Same thing we told James. Same things people tried to tell to Flynn.
So what you're saying is I'm being hypocritical right now because I tell them the same thing you're telling me and I don't listen to my own goddamn advice.
Buddy, I've been calling you a hypocrite all night. I've just been doing it in more flowery language.
Dude, I don't like this be open with your feelings bullshit. Sure, I tell other people to be open with their feelings, but I don't like being open with mine.
Then come to terms with your skull being open with everybody else.
And I really don't fucking like that. And I don't like it's my inability to want to be open with people. That's my fucking that's the what is would that be an Achilles heel? I don't think that'd be an Achilles heel. I wasn't an English major.
I mean, it's a fatal flaw, so, you know,
Yeah.
it works.
My fatal flaw is the fact that I don't care about myself like other people do. I'd sooner take the fall for anyone else if it meant that they didn't have to go through something than to let them do it for me. I guess that's just not fair, is it?
It's not that it's fair. It's that you've come to a point where you don't have a choice. I need to disassociate for like 30 seconds.
Hmm?
Sorry about that.
You're fine, Duke.
I think you just gotta suck it up, V.
It's like also, how do I start showing that I'm actually trying, Duke? Because I thought the past few weeks that I had been trying, but I guess I haven't been. Not really.
It's actually just doing it, V. And it has to start with Mason. Yes, Gareth. Currently in a talk with V. Do you need something pressing or? Ride from the prison. Yeah. Give me just a minute. I'll give you a call. All right. Excellent. All right. Good luck. Be safe.
But it's like, I don't always have these big emotions. So it's also like talking about just like my day.
Yeah.
And I always talk about my day. How's your day going? Fine. That's that. Oh,
Okay,
I
but
did this and I did that.
are there things that slowly chip away day by day that lead to big emotions?
Sometimes.
You gotta talk about those. Because if you don't, they pile up and they make problems. Especially for you and Mason, where you're both stubborn and will just go back and forth on things. And I'm not saying he's innocent in all this, but unfortunately, what you and I signed up for means what he and or Lane want goes. And that's whether it's fair or not.
Yeah. I had a talk with Wally today. Where I guess we talked about like expectations, and I'm just like, well, I'm not a patch Wally, I'm an old lady. And he's like, well, V, I hate to break it to you, but you you know, basically, not that I do more, but just there's just the way he said something that I was just like, I guess you're right about having to hold me to that standard, but I still don't like it because I'm not a patch Wally. I'm an old lady, and I guess yeah, what Balto said to me has stuck with me a bit more than I'd like to let on.
Fuck Balto.
But I don't want to talk to Mason about that because he'll get pissed off at Balto again.
Good. Let him
I
have.
don't want him to get pissed off at Balto again, dude.
Why? What at the end of the day, what does it matter if the husband you love and care about and want to be around all the time is shitty at somebody that said a very shitty thing to you? Somebody that's not around, somebody that comes around and dumps their shit on you and makes you feel guilty for this, that, and the other. What does it actually matter if Mason's mad at him or not?
I mean, I guess it doesn't, but then he's like, well, then, uh, he wants to fight with Balto and go
Let
off
him
on him
fight.
and shoot him, and I'm like, I don't want that.
He's not going to shoot him. You know that. That's just Mason being Mason.
He shot Joanna.
For hurting you directly with physical violence. Is Balto going to hit you with a wrench?
No.
He's not going to get shot. Let's use some common sense, V.
But like, it does not feel good having my husband be upset with someone who was a very important figure in my life. But yeah, I'm still upset about what Balto said, and I feel like I should be over at this point because it was over a week ago that he said it.
Or not.
I mean, I'm just an old lady, Duke. I don't do anything important.
Why are you allowing the words of somebody who doesn't know what you do, doesn't know what this club does, hold so much power compared to all the people who are around you day to day and tell you everything that you do as an old lady and what it means to them?
Like, I know it. What he said doesn't matter, but like,
That's not what I asked you. Why are you allowing it to happen? Why is Balto's opinion worth that much more?
I don't know. I think it's just that it hurt that he said it. That he thinks so little of me.
Yeah. Be honest, if he said that in front of me, I probably would have shot him. Because that's just what old ladies do, V.
I think that's why I can't let it go. Because it fucking hurt.
Then you need to tell him that and make him apologize.
Because I didn't want to go to Scotland because I knew we didn't have the next step from them yet. So I didn't know, are we going to need to pull my van out this week? Also, just not knowing the next step in general. Like, I don't want to miss this shit. Because whatever's.
Okay? You don't have to have an excuse, V.
I know I don't. But.
You're a grown ass woman, and he can either respect that and what you want, or he can't. She obviously didn't. And you should be hurt. However, should he be hurting you? No. Should Kiki be hurting you? No.
You know, she apologized.
That's fine. That's great. I'm
No,
glad she did.
I'm not saying that to, like, excuse. But, like, she apologized to me the day of the funeral for not being there. And then I felt like I was being robbed of, like, actually properly saying goodbye to my sister, because I'm not going to see her for a while. Because everyone else had to talk to her. Finley wanted to talk to her. Balto wanted to say goodbye to her properly at the airport. Nana wanted to say goodbye. So in the end, all I got was like 30 seconds before she had to go board her plane.
Why did you allow that?
So I didn't want to take away from other people.
So instead, you just cut pieces out of yourself? How long till you cut away and there's nothing left?
I think I'm almost there, dude, to be so for real.
Okay. You hear the words coming out of your mouth then? There's a spine in there, Veronica. I've seen it. It's on your x-rays.
I think there's a couple metal pieces in there somewhere too.
All the better for you to stand up straight and stand up for yourself. Stand up for your husband, what he deserves, what you deserve. Stop letting people who can't give you the time of day and make promises and apologies for how things should have been or will be, and that shit never materializes. Words are wind. Mason's here. I'm here. Lane's here. Everybody else with that patch they are here. They don't wake up to make you feel bad at once every month.
Yeah, Mason hasn't really been a fan of Balto for a while. Because the last time we spoke was him getting pissy at me for not wanting to involve him in the Casey stuff.
Guess what? It's not his choice. It's your choice who gets involved in your shit. That's why it's your life. I don't know why all these people think they get a decision over your life. Literally, the only person that has a decision over your life is Mason. And you signed up for that, same as me. And I'm not saying that his is the only opinion that matters, but as your husband and your patch, it should carry more weight than any other 10 people combined. I'm not certain there are words that Lane could say that would not point me in whatever direction that she wished. And that's not to say that I'm not my own person, but it's just how it is. If you love him, it's time to change.
It's a scary thing, dude.
Yeah. It was probably scary when you retired out of EMS and took the next step. It's time to retire old Veronica. Let the new one come out.
I feel like we've seen peaks of her.
You'll be all the better for it.
I feel like that's what this past year has been, to be honest. It's just a constant fight with myself. Because at least when I had EMS, I could focus all of that energy somewhere and I didn't have to think about it. When Kiki was around more, I could focus all that energy into taking care of her and cleaning up the mess left behind of every trauma that hit her head on. I don't know how to let people take care of me, dude.
Yes, you do. or I wouldn't be sitting here right now.
Guess. So I guess that mood board downstairs is where I start.
I think it's where you start your day. I don't think it's where you start transformation. This grief you're going through, it's gotta be the chrysalis that you emerge from as a bigger, better person that lets the people around her that love her take care of her, and then in return takes care of them. Take that same energy that you just talked about with wanting to take care of your EMS kids and put it into the club. Stop worrying about Kiki. She's off. She's untouchable now. Put that into Mason. That feeling for Balto of not wanting to disappoint him and take what he says to heart. Put that on Lane. These are the people here. These are the people that matter now, V. Yeah, I'm not saying Kiki don't matter, that if she's around you don't take time and do for her, but the pedestal, you gotta swap out who's there now. Times have changed.
I mean, I do take care of people, though, Duke.
I don't mean take care of them by helping them when they're down. Take care of them by doing what they're asking you to do. Ease that worry. Ease the stress. Take care of them by taking care of you. It's all they want right now. It's all I want right now.
Like, what do I do when I just want to be alone? Like, what do I do, Duke? When I want to be alone and want to be anywhere other than Chumash, what the fuck am I supposed to do?
You sit your ass on the beach and meditate. And you are in Chumash, but you are far, far away in your head. Just because you're in Chumash doesn't mean you gotta talk to somebody. Nobody said you gotta talk.
Yeah, but inevitably someone will walk down to the beach and say, "Hey V, what's up?"
Okay. Doesn't mean you gotta answer.
Then I feel obligated to talk, and
But you asked me what you do. I just told you, and now you're making excuses
I,
for it.
I know. But then at
Lock
what point
yourself.
does Chumash start feeling like a prison? Because I can't.
Nobody said you can't leave.
Yeah, but like people start like Mason starts worrying if he.
The it's give and take. If you give that you're taking care of yourself, you can take a little bit of slack on the line and go blazes.
It's also like it's been months since I've like gone off speeding off on my bike because I was upset. It's been months, dude.
It's not just about that. Just because you're not wrecking your bike doesn't mean there's not self-destructive tendencies going on. Yeah, you were making a point last night, but should you been drinking alcohol willy-nilly?
Probably not.
Should you be telling people you don't want to do crime just because you're trying to prove a point?
No.
No. It's not always about physical harm. It's not always about mental harm. Sometimes it's just you shouldn't do something and you take those steps to still do it.
Okay, but the me say I'm not gonna do crime thing was kind of funny.
Sure, but where it ended up wasn't.
No. I don't know why it caused such upset, but
Doesn't matter why, but it
just
did.
matters that it did. I'm about like 5 seconds from giving up on boosting again.
Nope, sure can't do that.
No, because someone will get in a hissy over it.
Why can't you just turn it into self-challenge and drive?
Because I don't like failure, Duke.
Who does? You think I like failure? You think I
It's
like that I'm
especially frustrating when I'm so close to doing it and I fuck it up. Just makes me feel like I should give up.
Reed, do you think there's anybody around you that likes failure?
No.
Do you think there's anybody that you would look at them and say, "Yeah, you should just give up. You failed. Just fucking hang it up. Fuck it."
No.
So why are you so willing to do that for yourself?
I feel like I've never been allowed to give up on anything. So I guess it's kind of like a control thing, right?
Okay, well, you willingly gave up EMS, gave up being a civilian, you joined an MC.
But that was different.
Nope, nope. Those are willful choices.
Say that was retirement, and there's a difference.
You could still be doing EMS right now.
Some days, Duke, I am a little bit serious about, man, wouldn't it be crazy if I got an expungement and went back to EMS?
Sure.
I miss it sometimes, okay? It makes me sad that there's no volunteer EMS because sometimes I miss just driving the ambulance and helping people.
So go steal one.
Yeah, but then I don't have the other half of the equation where legally I can give people medical.
Who cares about that? Fuck them. That's the benefit of being an outlaw now, V. You just do what the fuck you want. Point stands. You You've made willful choices about giving up some things to do better with others. You got to give up this notion that you don't deserve to do self care, that you don't deserve to put your feelings on others. Gotta let that shit go, V. It's old, it's tired, it's gonna get you shot in the head. It is literally adapt or die.
I know. You know, it'd be so easy to place blame for why I am the way I am on a singular person or event. Like, easy in the sense that, like, it would make my life easier to be able to say, oh, well, I'm this way because of how toxic and emotionally abusive my relationship with Josh was. Or I'm this way because of how horrifically awful things were when Nat tried to have Raina kidnapped and saved by her gang to prove that she could be there for her. That was a doozy. Or blame it on Casey and her family and the fact that I could never be my own person. I always had to be what she wanted me to be. I can't because it's a fucking combination of things, and I just wish I could blame one singular thing in my life for why I am the way I am, Duke.
Or you just accept you for who you are. Recognize there are faults and take the steps to fix them, V. Not saying you got to be perfect. Trust me, nobody's perfect. But you have to be willing to grow. The time for no's is gone. The times for I'd prefer, or the times for I don't think I can, or any of that, it's gone. It's do, it's say, it's show. Anything else is basically unacceptable.
Why does he have to care so much, Duke?
Why do you?
Because I love
Okay, well, there you go. Hmm. Listen, whatever you need from me to get your head on straight about all this. Keep you in line for what you need to do. You just let me know. You got it.
Yeah. I know Mason and I have to talk tomorrow because, he definitely was not fine, no matter how much he said he was.
And you gotta stop accepting fine. And you can't just give fine back. You know?
I guess I have a habit of doing that.
And it's gonna be uncomfy. And it's gonna be messy. But you gotta talk about what's going on this last week, all this grief. You gotta talk about fear, these paths that are in front of you. Because they both got fear, they're just different types. You gotta talk about what you need from him so that you can give him what he wants.
I don't know what I need from him.
You need him to pick up the phone.
Yeah, I did need him to do that.
But he needs you to be direct. He needs you to do the things he's asking. Whether it's lean on him, give me a call, anybody a call.
He doesn't ask for much.
I mean, no, but he does. But it's only for your own good. And his good. Give him a little bit of sanity. Not to say you're the root cause of his problems. You're not. Anyways, we're just slowly spinning the same circle, V.
I know.
You know what you need to do. And tomorrow's the day to start doing it.
What if tomorrow's too late?
Again, till you're bleeding on that hill, out in the desert, it's never too late. Okay?
Mm-hmm.
Let me get out of here and go to sleep. I think you should do the same.
Yeah, I should do the same. I will. Just need to get my head on a little bit.
Yeah, I believe in you. All right, V.
No, or if I locked the door or not. I did not. 10 out of 10 homeowner safety.
I think it'd be all right. It's Mirror Park after all.
True. But
Right.
you never know who's gonna walk through that door.
Sure. All right. I'll see you tomorrow.
Yeah, I'll see you tomorrow, dude. Is that therapy or a threat session? I mean, I think it's what we needed to hear. Because, like, here's the thing with Veronica, right? She doesn't know how to let people in. And that has been, like, the number one, I think, internal relationship issue for her and Mason over the past year. Is her inability to actually let other people in. Because what Veronica's really good at doing, and she said this to Raina earlier, I don't necessarily agree with that, Sackmaster. Like, I think the crux of most of Veronica and Mason's disagreements in the past year has been the fact that, like, she does not let other people in. She doesn't lean on him necessarily the way she should. She doesn't lean on the club until it's too late. Until she's already mid-crash out. He was right, but also, like, I don't think it was necessarily there was a lot of threats. Because Veronica was the one that brought up first, that, you know, the worst case scenario in all of this is that if she can't get her shit together, it ends with a bullet in her head on a hill in Sandy. Is that, like, a, you know, very worst case scenario? Yeah, it is. Because there are options that exist before they get to that point, and there's the whole, you know, if she gets her shit together, it's gonna be a non-issue. But the point she was making is that she would rather be dying on that hill in Sandy than have to go through that loss and then have to like watch him move on, right? Because, like, V's like, I can't go through another fucking heartbreak like that. And she would fucking lose her mind, dude. But what I was saying before that is V is really good at deflection. She is really good at taking, like, starting to talk about what she's feeling and then turning it back on the other person. She you shut your mouth, Sackmaster. She will start talking about what she's feeling and then she'll turn it around on the other person as soon as she can. She's tried to do that with Duke a couple times, but Duke does not take the bait. He just does not. So, like, this is Veronica's, like, she needs to either actually get her shit together, or her worst nightmares could become her reality. She does want to let people in, I think. But she struggles with the how. She struggles with not feeling like a burden. She struggles with so how does Mason feel about lighthouses? Considering what Mason's sister has been up to, which V knows very minimal about what Alice has been up to, other than Hope's visited her. And, like, she's involved in some stuff to the point that, you know, Dr. Smith and Mr. Bones might come sniffing around Shumash. The fact that Alice lives with Mason and V now also has me worried that one day Veronica's gonna walk outside and one or both of those peyotes is just gonna be parked across the street watching the house, waiting for Alice. Like, she'll wake up and walk out of the house tomorrow, and there's just gonna be the black and white peyotes parked across the street, waiting for Allie. And Veronica, with her lack of self-preservation, would walk right up to them and be like, "Can I help you?" Would be interesting at this point for Norman to want to talk to her. Slackmaster Sauce had his turn in 3.0. He had his turn. But no. It'd be funny at this point if after all this time Norman just contacted Veronica. It'd be funny if after all this time it happened. Because you have to remember, she has been on the outskirts of everything since 3.0. Since it started in 3.0. Might I add. And like, I keep saying this, right? But sometimes Veronica just has that Saved by the Bell / Office moment of Norman Bones keeps ruining my life. Yeah, this is true. She is the last of the Bundy bunch. Like, you could technically count Flop, but Flop does not remember being part of the bunch. Because if I remember correctly, he was Bundy's godson? So Veronica is the last Bundy standing, technically speaking. She is the... You could count Lizzie, but like, of the bunch who were actively Bundys at the time that Norman was tormenting the Bundys, Veronica is the only one left. And she's also, I think, the only Bundy. I mean, you could count Randy, but does he even wake up anymore? So we can't really count Randy. We'll never walk to the lake. Hello, Norman. We've got one left. He hasn't eradicated the bunch yet. As long as Veronica is still standing, the bunch is still alive and well. Uppy, that's not what I mean. I mean, like, as long as she's still standing. Does V feel okay after the talk? She feels like she has a direction. She has something concrete that she can work with, right? I want to know who left the cigarettes on the bench. I'm assuming that... I just want to know who left the cigarettes, man. Also, the only reason I'm still on is because I know that I'm not going to work today because I still had a fever at midnight. This girly things. But she is the last of the bunch. And like, it would be interesting if after all this time, she and Norman had a conversation. At least in my opinion. It'd be interesting if after all this time that happened. Because she's been so uninvolved directly this entire time, and yet so directly affected by the things that Norman's done. She was constantly there for Kiki. You know, she watched her family tear itself to pieces. She was there with them the day that the lighthouse fell. Like, in the aftermath. And then, you know, 4.0. Obviously, the most direct that she has ever been affected is Winston's death. Because Winston died to save her sister-in-law. Which in turn devastated Kiki and left Veronica picking up pieces again. And yeah, Alice and her lighthouse-centric arc, like, Veronica knows very little about that. All she knows is Alice is involved in that stuff, and she feels like history is repeating. She feels like history is repeating and there's nothing she can do to stop it. Yup. It's why she said some of the stuff she said when she was breaking down Arena earlier. She doesn't like feeling powerless, and this entire situation has made her feel powerless. Is what's she gonna do? Like, realistically, what is Veronica gonna do? March up to the lighthouse and start screaming at Norman to stop ruining her life? At that point, she might as well hand Mason the gun to take her up to the hill in Sandy and shoot her in the fucking head. She has held true to not going out there. The closest she has come was going down to Catfish View to leave her note for Winston, but she burned it and the only remains were the WW. Because she didn't feel right not doing it. Wait to pull a Jeffy if that happened to V? What do you mean? What did Jeffy do? I will say, something you're gonna start seeing V do. Yeah, something you're gonna see V do now that she has this glass pendant um, that has Winston's ashes in it. That's gonna be another like fidget for her because there's no way she doesn't keep that on her. Canonically, this bracelet is around her wrist. This pendant is around her neck. And I'd imagine she probably keeps this tied to her keychain. Or like looped around it in some way. I think we're gonna be a little spicy too. Potentially. And we might leave Veronica's journal out somewhere where Mason can find it. We might start leaving her journal somewhere Mason can find it. The March 11th entry from today. I'm tired. I haven't been sleeping much. Every time I close my eyes, it's the same dream over and over and over. So this is what she was writing while she was sulking on the beach at the resort. Which is what led into her breakdown. Because it didn't really hit her, and it's why she sounded so sad on the phone to Mason. Is it didn't really hit her until she started putting her feelings down in writing. Which is something she forgot to mention to Duke. Because I forgot. Oops. Like, it didn't really hit her that that is what she was feeling until that point. But yeah, no, this is what led into her breaking down to Raina. Kiki sobs, Cleo's whispers, Norman holding Winston's heart in one hand and his head in the other. The fog, I can't make it stop. I want it to stop. I'm on edge about everything. I'm tired. Even when Mason and I were in New Orleans, I was having nightmares. I hate it, no matter what. This always touches my family. Winston died to protect my sister-in-law and devastated my sister in the process. I know Allie is tied up in that mess. My family can't escape it. Why? Why is it always my family? Why do I always have to watch them suffer and deal with the bullshit at the lighthouse? The bullshit with Norman. Why can't it be another family's problem? Why does it have to be mine? I always have to watch from the sidelines as people I care about get too wrapped up in the things out at the lighthouse. Unable to do anything. Maybe that's what my dream is getting at. But I'll never be able to do anything. I'll always be searching through the fog, trying to protect people I can't protect, put pieces back together that will never be all there. Sometimes I just want to be alone because it's nice to sit in silence. Other times I go off alone because I want to get myself in check, so I don't lash out. I don't like saying too much when I'm in bad moods, because that makes it more likely I'll lash out at someone for just coming up and talking to me. I've been good about making sure people know where I am when I go off alone. I don't drive a million miles an hour. Wally made a point when I talked to him about me essentially being held to the same standard as Patch, but I'm not one. He also made the point of you're either just an old lady or you do what I do. There is no in between. That's all jumbled because V was crying when she wrote that. And then I talked to Raina. I told her the truth. I'm scared I'm going to lose Mason because of my own inability to let him and others in. But I don't know how to, because I've never stopped to try. Because I always deflect, because most people never took the time to actually care. I don't want to lose him. I don't want to lose the pub. Raina gave me a reading last week that she talks about the reading, and that's that.
You got a face like my ass!
I feel like this is a good place to end. But like, Chad, should we... Would it be stirring to leave her journal somewhere Mason can find it? Or do we think that would be an opportunity for Mason to actually see what's going on in his wife's head if he chooses to snoop? What do we think? Because I'm gonna be so for real, chat. Is Mason... That's the other question, Uppy. But I feel like that would be a question Mason would have to ask himself, right? I feel like this is different than the Sasha journal, though, Storm. Because these are all entries that have, like, been written. Right? I feel like the Sasha journal was a little bit different. Because also, Veronica's alive. That's another, like, that's a first step, right? Is Veronica's alive. Sasha was dead. You'd also make the argument that subconsciously Veronica's leaving it somewhere for Mason to read. But like, yeah, is Mason ready for that right now? To actually like see, like, Veronica's thoughts if he can't resist the urge? Oh, you know what? As much as it would be cinematic as fuck to end out here, I want to show you guys something. I want to show you guys something. Actually, Where's her apartment? Ugh, she's on the 11th floor. Sad. Oopsie, we left the door unlocked. Leave it at Patrick's. Dude. So I put that. But I don't think anyone's gonna look in there. So. I don't think anyone's gonna look in there. However, you know what? We're gonna run to the apartment so fast. We got some things to put in the house.
Hi, puppy. I missed you today.
Nah.
Get a Buddha!
We're doing this copper uppy. And again, the only reason I'm still up is because I know I'm not going to work tomorrow. In fact, let me tell you guys what my temperature currently is. Okay, that seems wrong. We're hovering in the 99 content for a few hours. It did dip up to 100 at one point. So we're hovering in like the low grade fever territory. We're taking such a risk right now. Or not. Okay. It's not moving. So elevator's busted. Also, I'm almost positive Mason would have at least noticed that Veronica wasn't sleeping well. I'm almost positive that I told Sauce that Veronica had been having nightmares. Apparently, because I could have sworn I told him. Where's all my shit? Oh. Her diary. These books. Oh, yeah, that's the book that can't come out of the apartment. Fuck, we have to go all the way to Morningwood. Guess it's time to start making Sauce do perception checks. Obviously, you gotta move all of her journals to the house. It's the only way. I'm too tired to go all the way to Morningwood. What even is in this wood? Maybe we do hurt the other ones. Get a debuff for not noticing for 2 weeks. Hey, man's is tired, okay? Have you seen what he has to deal with at home? He has to deal with this, okay? Can you blame a man for just sleeping through it? You don't touch those. Journal, diary, 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 diary. Bundy letters, clown pass. I don't even know what these ones are, dude. Okay, they're just blanks. Can you though? Veronica's a lot to deal with, man. But like, again, Veronica would sooner die than I think be able to sit back and watch him move on. Cause like, they talked about a long time ago what would happen in that event. But I think Veronica at the time of that conversation and Veronica now are two very different people, where I genuinely think Veronica would opt for the blood out. If given the choice between being voted in as a prospect and a blood out, I think she would choose the blood out. Which in a huge way is kind of cowardly. Well, actually, it's extremely cowardly in a sense. But that would be what she chooses. rather than like face up to what led to that point. She would choose to take a bullet and walk away from the people who welcomed her in over a man. Like, hopefully it doesn't get to that point. I would very truly like for it to not get to that point. Thank you. I just need Veronica to cooperate with me. Because she doesn't like to cooperate with me. Yeah, I know. You know that, and I know that. And I think she's finally getting that through her head. And genuinely, what has changed in a year? Can anyone tell me if anything has changed in a year since she wrote this? Norman resurfaced this time last year. Fuck me, man. Because I'm almost positive Kiki said, someone said something. But I know, oh, see, that was Winston's blood out that triggered Norman into coming back. And now just seeing it on paper. Kiki poked her head out of her brother's ICU room. I dragged her out for some fresh air. It was not, in fact, a chill day. An unwanted blast from the past resurfaced. And I'm powerless to protect my sister. This fucking sucks. Let's see. Did she really? That's actually crazy. Easton, Tanner. Nightmares. She's still grappling with her grief over Harvey. Oh, damn. It's in volume 4. Oh, yeah, that. And that's when she originally stopped journaling. Oh, wait, there's another sideboard upstairs. There we go. Alright. Oh shit, it is almost 5 o'clock in the morning. Is Sauce still awake? I need to know which side of the bed Veronica would be on. I genuinely don't remember which side of the bed she sleeps on. I think he usually goes closer to the wall. But that's mostly just for scene placement. On the off chance that Sauce is around before me tomorrow, which never happens. Alright. Okay. We are... I was right, it is left side. Okay. Who is streaming? We can send you to... Who we send to? Who is still up at this hour? You know what? We'll send it to Chris because he's doing a subathon. Looks like he's doing some racing on Project Street. So go say hi to Chris. Don't tell him I'm a pest like when I should be. I don't like people knowing I should have been in bed 3 hours ago. Anyway, have a good night, y'all, and I will see you tomorrow.